And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know what I tell him? You got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy, he's just a savant. He's just something special, no question about it. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather explodes after Stephen A. Smith downplays his legacy and says that Terence Crawford can beat Floyd. Stephen A. insists Mayweather is not the greatest fighter ever, as he claims to be, and argues Sugar Ray Leonard was far superior.
Not just about your skill set. It's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's an excuse, though. I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain.
22.
You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
Well, we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You got to be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke his.
He further states that Floyd's best wins came at lightweight, while he failed to dominate at higher divisions. Smith also dismissed the Canelo fight as not that impressive, sparking outrage from Mayweather, who refuses to let such criticism slide. Bay gave a deep analysis, comparing Floyd Mayweather with Terence Crawford in light of Crawford's performance against Canelo Alvarez.
That Bud goes about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will, like, when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud, like, gave him the, all right, put your foot out, what's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. Like, and was like really standing there and like giving it to him with another type of energy. It was, the energy is more so like, all right, what's up? Like, you can't beat me. Floyd energy be like, bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be like, nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be like, I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. Like, he came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was like, all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have leaned towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was like, if I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do it.
He admitted that as a fan, he leaned slightly toward Crawford in a hypothetical matchup, but he made it clear that the comparison needs balance. Crawford's win over Canelo was an extraordinary achievement, and many rushed to say it was better than anything Floyd had done. However, Bay reminded listeners that Floyd himself had dominated Canelo in their fight, and did it.
I got to stop this. He'll tell you that if he had to sit down a little bit more. And what I tell you, Terence can fight, and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. And he one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He done everything, man. You know what I mean? He don't have any titles, he don't want all that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off on the sunset, man. You know what I mean? He don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
At a stage when Canelo was still growing as a fighter, he stressed that dismissing Floyd's greatness in favor of Crawford is not accurate, since both fighters brought something unique to the sport. For Bay, the truth lies somewhere in between. Crawford deserves credit for handling Canelo in such a commanding fashion, but
the second time, they can't take it away from him either.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance of going there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know, I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo win.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
That he was going to get beat. Surprised me.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because, you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like he should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? They made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
But Mayweather's performance against him was equally historic and shouldn't be overlooked. Trainer Bussy Ennis spoke passionately about Terence Crawford's standing in the sport. He responded to critics who questioned Crawford's achievements, saying that Crawford has proven time and again that he is one of the greatest of his era and has highlighted Crawford's ability to take chances no matter the opponent, pointing out that Crawford never backed away from dangerous fights. In his eyes,
the man that you have become, you're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bro. You know, you saw going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you'll end up 6 feet under, bro. You know? So that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset of change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself. Understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man. You know.
Crawford thrives when facing risk, and that separates him from many of his contemporaries. By constantly challenging himself against the best, Crawford carved out a place among boxing's elite.
He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight, and my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument of, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer So like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh, shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had, obviously, the fights, right?
And stressed that people should stop trying to diminish Crawford's accomplishments and instead recognize that few fighters in history have managed to be as versatile, daring, and successful as he has. Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bulak McIntyre, believes his fighter still has a few big moments left. According to Bomac, Crawford could take on 2 or 3 more fights before considering retirement. He discussed the possibility of Crawford moving up to 160 pounds, noting that such a leap would not just be about titles, but about cementing a legacy that is already Hall of Fame worthy. Bomac made it clear that Crawford has already written his name into history with groundbreaking victories and becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes. Yet, the idea of adding more championships to higher divisions excites both the team and the fans.